Hello, heels and baby faces. Welcome to Rob is War, the podcast with the most attitude. I am the Rob, or as they say in Japanese, Robato, and this is
the Murph,
or as they say in Japanese, Arobato Mafi.
In today's episode, we're gonna be talking about the G1 Climax. The Forbidden Door has basically been open, and the results to Full Gear, which I haven't had a chance to watch because I did get drunk. I did get drunk last night.
living up to them alcoholic owl expectations.
Yep.
Drinking your vodka water. Well, and speaking of the G1 Climax, did you get to watch the recent one?
I haven't yet.
And I think we've been talking about this for a long ass time.
Yeah.
We're like,
I just got caught up with everything.
Well, not only that, but like the G1 Climax is such a long show. If you thought WWE did a lot of shows, like that's nothing compared to what New Japan's schedule is. I mean, I can only imagine how the wrestlers of New Japan feel with that type of schedule. I mean,
like 19 nights.
I mean, and give it up to someone like Kenny Omega, who is like considered the best bout machine right now in wrestling. Is all because of the New Japan stuff. It's all because of the G1 Climax. Good question now. Do you know what the G1 stands for?
No, I do not.
Well, interesting enough, G1 stands for Grade 1, which is something they used to do in horse races. So you're basically looking at it like, I guess the boss is basically looking at it like, who are the top thoroughbreds, you know? Who are the top thoroughbreds of New Japan? Who are the who, right? Of that year in New Japan is gonna be that guy, basically. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And it's good because I've seen a few of them. I've gone times with just to watching from night 1 to night 19, just all the way through while they're released. And
we've done it before. Well, we've done it before.
Yeah,
I remember one time because there's times where we have watch throughs and stuff like that, and we have done it before. But it is a lot because especially, you know, with all the
they're like 3 hours each.
Yeah, and then especially with all the other promotions that we know. You know what I liked about this year though is that they got straight to the point. Like instead of it being like these instead of these being like you know, your typical like the filler matches where you got like these 6-on-6 or 12-on-12 tag team matches, you know, going on because they're basically trying to preview every wrestler for the upcoming specials that they're gonna have after that, right?
Yeah.
But instead, this year they just got straight to the point. Like right when the show started, you already had the tournament just started off just like that, you know.
Yeah. I definitely need but before Wrestle Kingdom, I definitely need to watch at least night 19. Like I just have the gist of it.
Yeah,
and because they'll cover the rest of it in one show, so they usually do.
Yeah, they usually do. They usually recap, and that's another thing I love about New Japan is that they recap everything, man. I mean, for the fans that don't know what the hell we're talking about, because maybe you're just in the WWE bubble or you're in the AEW bubble, which is not a bad thing at all, right? I really think as a big time wrestling fan, and I've got you there, Al, because one time you were in a WWE bubble, and I got you to start watch. I told you, hey, dude, you need to check out this New Japan Pro Wrestling, man. Like it's off the charts. Like it's doing wonders. And the only reason why I got into it is because obviously at the age of 7, through 9, I was a big Chris Jericho fan. So I just followed him everywhere.
Yeah.
And honestly, you were talking about how we were going to be talking about the Forbidden Door, which that's going to be coming up soon. But I honestly think that the Forbidden Door started with Jericho, man.
I like to think that Jericho cracked it open.
Yeah.
And like John Moxley just punched through the fucking door. And now everything's coming in like a gateway.
Yeah, and
You
but
opened
that's
up the gateway to hell.
exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like from a fan perspective, is that Chris Jericho did that for me as what the Forbidden Door is doing for everybody else, right? Where like
Yeah.
he led me onto the path of New Japan, and I was like, "What is this? Like, this is amazing!" And and also coming to find out, he's done New Japan before. Like
Yeah.
he was doing all that stuff way before there was a Forbidden Door, way before there was Indies, way before there was any of that stuff.
Yeah.
He was kind of the man making it known,
Yeah, the thing I love about New Japan Pro Wrestling is the matches are phenomenal. They tell the story inside the ring. Yes, they're long, but they're telling an amazing story inside that ring. There is some drama, but not much. Not like the WWE or anything.
Yeah, and
They
I
don't spend the whole show cutting promos and have 2 matches. No, they have all fucking matches and tell a story in each match.
But not only that, in New Japan, there still is the heels and the baby faces. It still plays a factor.
Yeah.
Like there still is baby faces and there still is heels. Obviously like someone like the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. Like there is still storylines in it, but it's not as overexploited or whatever, like the WWE likes to do, where in the WWE they're all more about the drama and the storylines than they are about the wrestling, to where New Japan actually is kind of about both. They're more about the wrestling actually, and the storyline is just more like the icing on the cake. Like, their gimmicks. There's gimmicks, there's their promos, but it's more like, it feels like a UFC style, like combat sport style, feel to it, You get the post interviews, you get all that. And not only that, I also love how they treat each wrestler like according to their rankings or according to their values or according to whatever style that wrestler is. You're gonna see it in the match. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you got someone like Rocky Romero calling himself the king of sneaky style. You got someone over there like Arobato Mafi. Apparently is now the king of sloth style.
Because I'm slow. Slow like catching up on wrestling.
Yep. because you got a busy ass schedule and you're everywhere. You're the king of sloth style, Murph. And apparently, back in the day they used to call me Robert Rabbit. So I'm Rob knows all, and always stumbling over my words because I'm so fast. So I guess I am the king of rabbit style.
The king of rabbit style. King of sloth style.
But Al, and going back to the G1 Climax stuff, for the fans that don't know what the G1 Climax is basically a professional wrestling tournament that's held each August by the New Japan Pro Wrestling promotion. Though it has sometimes been held as a single elimination tournament, it is usually and currently held as a round robin tournament, which winners from 2 pools wrestling in the finals to decide that year's winner. In other words, they're saying 2 pools, so meaning there's going to be a set of wrestlers in what they call blocks. So there's going to be a set of wrestlers in the A block, and then there's going to be another set of wrestlers in the B block, and then at the end there's going to be the finals between, I think, the A and the B.
Yeah. And it's great. And it's like, The way I see it about the G1 Climax is pretty much their version of the road to WrestleMania. It's pretty much their road to Wrestle Kingdom.
The road to Murphy Kingdom.
And you get 19 nights spread out in like 2 weeks, I think, or 3 weeks.
It says
It's throughout the whole month. 19 nights throughout the whole month.
The tournament lasts 4 weeks.
Oh yeah, so about a month straight. Like,
and not only that,
sometimes you get like a couple days break, but that's about it from it.
That's about it. And not only that, the winner of each pool, which is A block and B block, keep in mind, is also determined by a point system. 2 points for a victory, 1 point for a draw, and that's only also a time limit only, right? If it goes to a time limit, which is rare, I feel.
Yeah.
And then obviously 0 points for a loss and a no contest or double decision.
Yeah.
So you're right. It's basically like the road to WrestleMania, but also like their version of Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
Where like they get a suitcase at the end of the thing, but it's not like the Money in the Bank because they can't cash it in anytime they want. They can't it's not a year thing where they can cash it in anytime they want. It's only going to be cashed in at what I call the WrestleMania of Japan, Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
Which is in every January, which has been epic and which has been 2 nights, and that's fucking again, like what you've been saying. You get 4 weeks of freaking this tournament, and not only that, after this tournament, you get another freaking tournament with tag teams called the World Tag League, and then you get another tournament before the Wrestle Kingdom, which I think is between November, December, around there. Of just nothing but like the hybrids and the cruiserweights, which is the Super Junior tournament, all the way leading up to Wrestle Kingdom. Jesus,
literally, the road to Wrestle Kingdom starts in August up till January when the 2-night event starts.
Right.
And it's just amazing.
Dude,
I mean, I should watch more. It's just too fucking much. I'm like, holy fuck, that's a lot. I missed one. Bam, like 2 days later, there's already 10. I was like, the fuck?
Yeah, dude, it's
yeah. You gotta really keep on top of it. You gotta literally have no fucking life,
dude. And it's epic.
Yeah.
And not only that, for the ones who didn't know, the G1 Climax didn't start until 1991, but before 1991, they also had other tournaments that started in the 1970s, like such as the World League. You had a World League that was like in the 1950s to the 1970s. You had one called the MSG League. I don't know if that's the Madison Square Garden. I don't know. It was called the MSG League from the 1970s, 1978 to 1982. And then you had the IWGP League, which was in the 1983 to 1988. Now, for the ones that you keep hearing, because you're probably asking yourselves, okay, they're called NJPW, which is New Japan Pro Wrestling, but their heavyweight title is the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, right?
Yeah.
So you're probably wondering what in the hell does IWGP stand for? Well, I'll tell you, Al. It's an acronym. It's an acronym of NJPW's governing body. I guess it's like a Raw and a SmackDown type of thing where it's like, so IWGP stands for International Wrestling Grand Prix.
Mm.
And so if for people don't understand what Grand Prix is, it's like, that's almost like NASCAR, the NASCAR, you got the Grand Prix, you got the, so they're treating this literally like it's a combat sport. Like, it's a sport, man. And that's what I love about it,
Yeah. They take their wrestling more seriously.
Yeah, dude. And not only...
Except for Yano. Except for Yano.
Yano! Yano's like the greatest... he's the greatest comedian, wrestler, jokester, wrestler. This guy is... taping...
He's the win. Taping their arms around a post or their legs around the the railing just to get inside to get that 20 count.
I mean, one of the greatest moments, Yano moments for me in the G1 was he actually beat John Moxley because he taped John Moxley together and got those points, man. I don't know how he does it, but he always
It's genius.
gets those points. And for those who don't know who Yano is, you need to search him up. You need to look up matches of Yano, and I guarantee, man, if you know, going back to the Forbidden Door, and we'll talk about that in a while, he would be one I would love to see come to like AEW or something like that, man.
Also, about New Japan, so America Wrestling, they have the 10 counts outside of the ring. So New Japan is 20 counts.
20 counts, dude. And
that threw me off at first. I was like, 11, 12, what the?
Yeah. I think
that threw me off at first. I was like, okay.
I think Ring of Honor and AEW, if I could sworn AEW's doing it too. No, probably not. No. But I know Ring of Honor is doing the 20 counts. Yeah, Ring of Honor is doing the 20 counts. That I think it's just awesome, bro.
Yeah. Like, it gives you more time to hang out outside the ring to get yourself a breather and not kind of rush in 10 seconds.
Well, and not only that, you never know who's going to show up in the G1 as well. I mean, you've had wrestlers from other promotions that showed up, and I was like, dude, what in the world? Like, someone like Jeff Cobb, who I saw as like Montanza from like Lucha Underground, you know, now being a bona fide NJPW like star, you know, like guys like that, dude, like Scott Norton, you know, showing up, you know, like just things like that.
Wait, Scott Norton showed up?
Yeah, there was one time Scott Norton showed up
in the G1 Climax.
Yeah, but he also got a
year?
Honestly, I wouldn't know, but it wasn't recent, like 2014, so like that. I remember watching watching one of them, and he just showed up, and I was like, oh yeah, it's Scott Norton.
Yeah, that dude is shit.
But also, from what I know, is that he got his start over there.
Yeah,
you know, so he was already known around there. You know.
Yeah, and I know back in '98, he shows up on Thunder and Naito with the IWGP World Title.
Yeah, man.
So the Forbidden Door happened back in WCW.
It's not really a new thing, but I mean, it's kudos to Tony Khan for like coining the word Forbidden Door and making it a thing, you know. But the Forbidden Door has always been there. It's just fans never really saw it that way, I guess.
Yeah.
And going back to the IWGP title, Al, I don't know if you known this, but it wasn't part of the G1 thing, but it was part of the league's history or the tournament history, right? In 1983, Hulk Hogan was the first American to go to Japan and to be in that tournament and actually win the IWGP title itself in that tournament.
Dang. I think I remember hearing about that too, that he won the title.
Yeah. And that's only ever happened just that one time.
I know, you know, my buddy Robbie was saying there was a point where he showed up in New Japan with the WWE title, I think, and said something about he wants the IWGP title, which in his eyes is the world title, apparently.
You know, and you know what's funny, going back to what you just said about like how WCW and New Japan and all that stuff, the Forbidden Door has always been open, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone remembers a Nintendo 64 game called WCW versus the World, you know?
World Tour?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, World Tour, old school.
Yeah. But it was basically that, WCW versus the World. And it was a world tour thing, and it was all Japanese and their wrestlers.
Yeah,
it was so cool. In that tournament, the most dominated wins by the tournament was the NJPW founder himself, Antonio Inoki. Now, I don't know if you know this, Al, but Antonio Inoki was the first ever Asian wrestler to win the WWE title, but WWE doesn't acknowledge it.
As usual. It's nothing new.
Now, do you think they don't acknowledge it because of the fact that they knew that he had his own promotion?
It could be.
I mean, because that's a pretty huge. It could have been a huge step for
Yeah.
the you know, for the community over there,
Oh yeah.
and for them to not acknowledge that, I mean, that's huge. And so, like, I'm guessing that's probably also why the why there's like parallels and resemblances to like WWE and New Japan, you know.
Yeah.
Except, you know, like I said, like we are saying, like, but except New Japan, you know, focuses more on the combat more than it does the stories or the drama of itself.
Most definitely. Now,
Do
well,
you?
what?
Oh
Finish.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
No, finish. Sorry.
I was gonna say, do you have do you have a favorite um, NJPW wrestler?
I like Naito. His style, his like attitude. I like it. You know what I mean? His music's amazing.
And I think he also is the first wrestler to be a dual champion, to win
Yeah.
both those titles. So
And he earned it. He deserved it. He won the G. Didn't know he didn't win the G1 Climax, but I know he won it at a Wrestle Kingdom.
he did win it at the Wrestle Kingdom, yeah. And he faced Ibushi. Yeah,
Ibushi's good too. Zack Sabre Jr. is good. Evil's good. Sanada is great. I like Sanada.
I gotta say my favorite is Goto.
Oh yeah, he's
Goto has to
awesome
be
too.
my favorite. And then because you have that also that never open weight title,
Yeah,
which is an interesting title to me as well. I mean, man, dude, New Japan Pro Wrestling has some unique titles. You know, they have
yeah, they do.
that that title. Well, they have the junior title, right? I think they have a junior weight one. And I'm they trying to see where all the doesn't it ever say if Naito ever won any one of these?
I don't think he did. I know he got. I know he was in a few of them. I know he got far in it, but he still ended up getting a shot. At Wrestle Kingdom
Yeah, because like I was telling
because
you,
he was a champion, at least the Intercontinental.
yeah, definitely. So like going back with Inoki's dominance over NJPW gone, the promotion established the G1 Climax Tournament in 1991 as a showcase, as a platform to showcase the company's top heavyweights and have them compete in round robin matches where the winners of the two divisions would then square off in the tournament final. And then yeah, and then like I said, you know, it was NJPW's president back then,
Yeah,
Sakaguchi, named the tournament after the G1 horse race. So that's where the G1 thing comes from. The first G1 was held on August 7th through August 11th of 1991.
oh, so it's small back then.
It was small back then, yeah.
And then later they started adding more nights, and now it's like now a month-long tournament.
Mm-hmm. Cause see,
All
like,
month long.
cause see, like the winner of the tournament, assuming they are not already the champion, had traditionally earned a shot at the IWGP Heavyweight title. So it was, and then it was since 2012 that the winner would earn the right to the title now.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until then that they started doing it like a Money in the Bank type of thing, where the certificate is kept in a briefcase, and yeah, that's how it is. And but like I said, the only time since its inception, since that uh, briefcase, right? You can't cash it in. You can't do anything like that.
Yeah.
There was only one time that it did change hands. It changed hands one time on November 7th, 2020 at Power Struggle when Jay White defeated Kota Ibushi.
I remember
So,
that.
one time. So Jay White is going down as that one-time guy that it switched over.
I like Jay White too. That dude's awesome.
Dude, you're
Hey,
sneaky.
everyone,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's a sneaky guy, man. Yeah, like you said, the tournament was 4 weeks. Kenny Omega became the first non-Japanese wrestler to win the tournament.
Ooh, nice.
He became the first one. So think about that, man.
Yeah.
And like speaking of upcomers, you know what I like also about New Japan? The Young Lions.
Yeah, the Young Lions.
The Young Lions, they don't get colors. They come out in just plain black boots, plain black, what do you call the tights, and that's it. And they have a set of moves. They can't do anything outside of those moves, just to showcase them. And then it's based on the audience. If the audience starts loving who they are, they're eventually going to move up and become something. And then after they're, I guess, nominated or voted up or something like that. Let's just say someone like your favorite Naito or my favorite Goto, Okada, Tanahashi, all them. They were all once young lions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were all once young lions who had no gimmicks or characteristics, promos, catchphrases, any of that stuff. They all had to earn their stripes to be that. So that's another thing that I love about New Japan is that you literally have to earn it.
Yeah, it's like its own developmental system thing.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yep. And then like also the New Japan also has a New Japan Cup, but unlike that, the G1 Climax features the then reigning IWGP Heavyweight Champion as one of the participants. So I guess the champion himself can win this tournament too, apparently. And I don't even know if that's ever happened. Let me see. Looking stuff up, and it says that he was one of the participants in the tournament, except in 92, 2001, 2004, and 2008 is when he didn't compete. Other than that, he's been in it.
Yeah. One of the first New Japan shows I saw was the G1 with Ring of Honor at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
That was good.
I think that was the one, trying to remember.
That was in like 2008, I think.
No, was that was the one with Jay Lethal was there.
Yeah.
Remember? That wasn't the one that were Enzo and Cass invaded, right?
Yeah, but they weren't shown on camera.
That was awesome. Like little bits of pieces of seed was planted there, like the Forbidden Door opening.
Yeah.
Like all this little stuff was just happening, man. And that's what's cool about it. I mean, but like I said, man, everyone needs to check out this G1 Climax. It's the best thing ever. It's just the best thing ever. Man.
Just prepare. It's a lot of fucking wrestling. And they're long. 3 hours long each.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And it's just the coolest thing ever that they have this tournament.
Mm-hmm. The matches are long, but it's worth it because they tell a great story in the ring.
Dude, yes. They definitely do. Let me see. Yeah, the last winner, the recent winner of this one though on the G1 Climax, Okada won it. Okada beat Ibushi and now is gonna go to next year's It's not this year's. It's next
Yeah.
year's. Wrestle Kingdom in January to face the reigning and defending IWGP Heavyweight Champion Takagi on night
Yeah.
on night one, and then it was just revealed, which I'm probably gonna watch later. Um, New Japan Pro Wrestling had an awesome special that was on yesterday called Battle in the Valley that showcased all the best like American and Japanese wrestlers of New Japan, and Will Ospreay came out and challenged. He's gonna challenge, they haven't made it official, but I think it's gonna happen. It's gonna challenge either Takagi or Okada on night 2 for the title, because like I was telling you off camera, Al, Will Ospreay has never got pinned.
Yeah. He never got beat for it.
He had to relinquish his title due to the injury, and this was also Will Ospreay also started the new era of New Japan, because this is where they introduced that new IWGP belt.
Yeah, do you like it?
I like the old school one more,
Yeah,
to be honest. I do, man. It's just too much. It just looks too much WWE-ish.
Yeah.
Man. But yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Oh,
I think that one's gonna be an interesting one for sure. And I think Will Ospreay is up there for me too as one of my favorite NJPW wrestlers. He's definitely come a long way, and I honestly hope he enters the Forbidden Door too.
Oh, yeah.
Because at the recent Jericho cruise, him and Danhausen showed up to save the Inner Circle. So it makes me wonder what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because now you have somebody like Jay Lethal who came out and he even mentioned the Forbidden Door himself. So I'm like, why would he mention the Forbidden Door himself, but yet he's signed to AEW, but you're still trying to say that, you know, he went through the Forbidden Door. Like, he's almost acknowledging, like, I'm hoping, maybe that's just me reading into it more, that there's going to be a partnership or a relationship with Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Because, like, how in the world are you going to have, because that's another thing that people, I guess, don't know about, is that Ring of Honor is, like, looks like they're trying to rebrand, and they basically released everybody from their contracts. And so, like, any one of these wrestlers can go anywhere. But, like, it doesn't mean Ring of Honor is done. It's just, I guess they're going to rebrand or reboot or do something with it. So, Al, speaking of the Forbidden Door, I mean, obviously you said Naito would be one of them, but who are some of the other wrestlers you would want to see maybe come to AEW?
Tanahashi, instead of just a video of him talking.
I know. I remember that one time I was telling you they announced that Tanahashi was going to enter through the Forbidden Door to face Archer, and I was like, hell yeah, they're going to face each other on Dynamite, but they ended up being on their pay-per-view.
Yeah. I'm hoping Okada jumps through. That'll be pretty big if Okada came.
That's funny that you say that about Okada, because I mean, now you got Orange Cassidy, you got Statlander, you got the Best Friends, you got Wheeler Yuta now, all now part of Okada's faction Chaos. What do you think of that?
That means something. They wouldn't do that just to do it. They did it because I want to say Okada is going to show up eventually, but we don't know when. And it's going to be when you least expect it.
Oh, yeah, dude, definitely when you least expect it. Man, that one's going to be epic. And it makes me wonder who, like, because, like, is he going to come? Do you think he's going to show up to save maybe Orange, or maybe, you know, something's going to happen there? Do you think?
Yeah, he's going to save Orange Cassidy, maybe from the Big Money Mac faction that's going on.
Yeah, you know, and you know what's funny? I don't know if you know this, Al, because like you said, you didn't get a chance to check out Full Gear. But you do know what's happening.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you know this, Al, but they've announced for this upcoming Wednesday. Now, I don't know when this podcast is going to be released. Maybe Wednesday, Thursday. I don't know. But for this upcoming Wednesday, they've already announced the Butcher and the Blade versus Orange Cassidy and Tomohiro Ishii.
Nice.
The Stone Pit
Hell
is
yeah.
entering the Forbidden Door. It's already starting out. I think what you already said.
Fucking Moxley punched that shit in. He opened up the gates of hell. Now everyone's coming in through that door.
That's what I was saying. It started. It also started with Jericho. You know what I mean? With the Alpha.
Jericho cracked it open. Moxley punched it open.
Because for me, like I said, and that's what got you into. That's what started your journey into the New Japan path. Is that with that match? It was with the Alpha versus Omega. It was Chris Jericho versus Kenny Omega at Wrestle Kingdom.
I did see that match.
You did?
Good. Yeah, yes. I did. See
and then
not only YouTube.
And then I think the following year, right? AEW gets announced that it's going to be a promotion and all this stuff. And then coming full circle, which we'll get into that with the Full Gear thing. Then you're going to get Hangman Page versus Chris Jericho for the first ever AEW title. And then obviously Jericho ends up winning. But, obviously come full circle, Hangman Page is now the well-deserving AEW champion.
Yeah.
Congratulations to him. I think it's going to be awesome. Cowboy shit out.
Cowboy shit.
But what I was also going to say is that with when Chris Jericho won that title, he took that title the following year to Wrestle Kingdom and defended it at Wrestle Kingdom. I think against
Tanahashi.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think it was against Tanahashi. Now, could you imagine if Tanahashi had beaten him? What would we have gotten the Forbidden Door have opened even more then?
Most likely.
Hell would have broken loose even more.
That was a good match, though. That was fun.
But honestly, I think the way it's going right now, I think it was it was supposed to go the way it is, because not only that, you said the reason also that Moxley punched through it was not only that, but also because he was the U.S. New Japan Pro Wrestling champion. So now NJPW introduced a United States title, their version of a United States title. So this is now like a gateway. Like now they're using Moxley as a gateway to defend that title, not only in Japan, but obviously in the United States, since it's a United States championship. And that's also what I'm loving about, like, going back to the battle in the Valley and what you said about your accounts with the Ring of Honor and the New Japan stuff with the Madison Square Garden special that you saw. So see, things were kind of molding and shaping its way into this Forbidden Door thing. And so like
it was getting unlocked. It was like someone had a key, was turning it slowly, cracking it open, and John Moxley just kind of kicked that son of a bitch open.
And not only that, haven't you noticed? Like then we were gonna start getting these AEW versus NXT wars a little bit, right? These little Wednesday night wars. Within that time, to me, if we're gonna go there and making comparisons where AEW's WCW and NXT was like the mini Attitude Era WWF, right?
Yeah.
I would like to say that NJPW Strong was ECW.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if people were noticed this, but during those two times, NJPW started NJPW Strong, a new show where they're now showcasing the upcoming Young Lions. They're now showcasing like anybody else. You don't know who was going to show up. I mean, you had someone like Fred Rosser, who we knew as I think he was Derek Young in Nexus and WWE. And now look at what is doing it for his career, or look at what it's doing for someone like Aiden English, or just recently the guy we know as the former North American NXT champion, Bronson Reed, just showed up to NJPW's Battle in the Valley. So now he has a working relationship with New Japan,
Yeah.
And I don't know if you noticed, but someone like Brian Danielson's also been saying he wants to work with guys like that over there too. So that could be one of the reasons why we got him versus Suzuki. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's definitely gonna be man, it's gonna be interesting. Like I said, I want to see. You know what I want to see, Al? Come through the Forbidden Door. I want to see the actual Bullet Club come through the Forbidden Door and freaking face the Super Click and the Elite.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine someone like Chase Owens, someone like Evil, someone like Jay White, which they kind of already hinted at because Jay White is obviously doing stuff in Impact Wrestling right now, so maybe he could shift over here.
Yeah.
You know, but I want to see Tama Tonga. I want to see the Gorillas of Destiny show up and face FTR, or face the Lucha Express. I mean the Lucha Express. Oh my God, it's a new team out. It's a new team between the Lucha Brothers and Jurassic Express. I meant to say the Jurassic Express. Bouch and the Lucha Bros. I mean, could you imagine God, Gorillas of Destiny, showing up and facing those tag teams?
It'd be amazing. I feel if they're gonna do that full-on thing, the Bullet Club versus the Elite, it needs to happen at some kind of big pay-per-view, like All Out or something.
Dude, yes, or Double or Nothing.
Yeah,
I think Full Gear is getting there.
Yeah,
I think AEW's on looks like they're on to like their 4 major pay-per-views coming. It looks like now you got Full Gear, now you got Double or Nothing, now you got All Out, and then I think you have a Revolution.
Yeah,
I think that's what it's called. Even though that one is not as big as these other 3 we were talking about.
Yeah, it could be.
It could be. Yeah, it definitely could be. I'm just gonna take you down to some of the NJPW news and see what you think, Al. Like I said at Saturday's past pay-per-view, NJPW Battle in the Valley, Will Ospreay showed up and confronted Okada and challenged to whoever wins at night 2 at Wrestle Kingdom 16.
Nice.
What do you think of that?
Good. I like it. It's gonna be good.
Do you have since we're on the path and the road to Murphy Kingdom, do you have any predictions for those 2 matches? Can we get a prediction right now, or do you think it's too early for the Murph, aka Arobato Mafi?
I think that night 2 it's gonna be Will Ospreay versus Okada for the title.
Ooh, man, bro, you're killing me here. Okay, you know what?
That's my prediction, and that I'm going with.
Okay, you're gonna go with that. Okay, I feel you. Right now, I love Okada. Don't get me wrong. I love the Rainmaker. Right? Don't get me wrong. And we could argue the fact that Okada has the best fucking drop kick in professional wrestling today. In the whole world. And this is a guy that's over 6 foot tall. He's like, what, 6'7" or something like that?
Yeah.
This guy has the best drop kick ever.
I agree. Dude. It's beautiful, just clean. Bam.
But, sorry, Al, I'm going to go with Takagi. I'm going to enter the dragon, and I'm going to go with Takagi. He's going to hit the Rainmaker with the last dragon, and it's going to be over, Al. And we're going to see Takagi versus Ospreay night 2.
It's going to be awesome, though.
It's going to be epic, bro. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. Hopefully, I want to try to see if we can get some live reaction videos going soon. I want to definitely deliver y'all with more content, but we'll be figuring that out. So speaking of all these other tournaments, Al, we also got now the NJPW World Tag League that has started now. Now it's almost like the G1 thing, but now we're focusing on tag teams. What do you think about that one now? Have you seen any of those?
No, I have not.
I think I've seen a few. But I haven't seen a lot either. Ooh, we had Zack Sabre Jr. and Taichi.
Ooh, nice. Taichi
versus Suzuki and Michinoku. Oh man, Taka Michinoku.
Hey, that's old school.
Bro, is that that stuff with he used to do with the Val Venus and all that stuff? I'm gonna chop your PP off.
No.
That's not him?
Taka Michinoku was Kai with Funaki.
Number one announcer.
SmackDown number one announcer.
Indeed.
Yeah. Old
Bro,
school.
I was like, my brain was like just freaking out. I was like, am I reading this right? The first night already, the first night of World Tag League sees Taka Michinoku come back and team with the King Suzuki to face one again, probably another favorite of mine too, Taichi and Zack Sabre Jr. Bro, come on.
Same, hell yeah, those two are awesome.
I'm definitely gonna have to pay more attention to this tag league stuff. Definitely, just like you, Al. But like you said, there's so, believe me, guys, there's so much wrestling out there that it's impossible, bro.
Oh yeah, so much wrestling. You just gotta know where to look.
Man, and then like I'm looking at this the results to this night one and stuff. There's a lot of cool. I mean, you got the legend Nagata and Tiger Mask. I mean,
right.
they made New Japan Pro Wrestling an anime off of Tiger Mask.
Oh yeah,
dude. That is epic. So, man, this tag league is going to be awesome. That tag league, I'm probably going to have to pay more attention to that. Not only that, speaking of New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong, they have announced a new U.S. tour for 2022. Al.
Ooh.
New Japan Strong is coming on the 15th of January to Seattle, Washington. On February 17th in Los Angeles. They're going to Hollywood, Al.
Ooh.
And in March, they're going to Tampa.
No Texas dates?
No Texas dates, sadly, man. Oh, man, I know. Goodness, bro. Oh, last night. Wow. Okay, so this is going to be interesting now because I remember I was telling you about we got the Butcher versus the Blade, right? The Butcher. Did I say the Butcher versus the Blade? Come on.
Yeah.
Ouch. The Butcher and the Blade, damn it, versus Orange Cassidy, freshly squeezed, and the Stone Pit Bull, Tomohiro Ishii, right? But not only that, last night he was crowned the new IWGP Never Open Weight Champion.
Nice. What are the odds for him bringing the belt?
he may be bringing that belt to Dynamite, man. And he is the 34th open weight champion in New Japan history. That is amazing. That is amazing. And if you don't know who Tomohiro Ishii is, you're definitely living under a rock. We were living under a rock for quite a while, but I'm telling you, this guy he's a veteran. He's a legend. He's almost like Suzuki in my eyes. He's like Nagata.
Yeah.
He's like those guys, right? Like you just know, even if you're not a fan of wrestling or you're not a fan of their wrestling, you still know who the veterans are of the sport.
Yeah, and especially in New Japan. Okada's one of them, I want to say. Well, Tanahashi is.
Man, yeah, dude, Tanahashi. Well, from what I learned is that from a long time they used to call Tanahashi the John Cena of Japan. And what I mean is like, you know, because merch-wise and like the venue-wise, ticket sales and all that stuff. Now, Okada is on another level, bro. Okada is like the Hulk Hogan of the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Like he's just like like Okada and Naito is like Rock and Stone Cold, and Tanahashi is like Flair.
Yeah,
Or something like that, you know. It's something like that. It's even though Tanahashi probably in the same age range or so. I don't know.
Yeah.
But speaking of that battle in the valley, because I'm saying, dude, I think I really need to check it out. I think everybody needs to check this pay-per-view out. If you haven't, I would say start there. If you're not a fan of New Japan Pro Wrestling, you need to start being a fan now, Pronto. I'm telling you, because all this stuff, if you're in AEW, if you're watching AEW right now, even if you're watching WWE stuff, I mean, you got guys like Nakamura, who I never really knew about. You know, I knew that when I was watching WWE at the time, I knew like, who's this Nakamura guy? And they keep saying he's like already a legend of New Japan and stuff like that. You got guys like the Good Brothers who were there. You got guys like AJ Styles was even there. You know, he was part of the Bullet Club at one time, you know. Finn Balor, you know. So I'm just saying you need to start watching New Japan because there's a crop of wrestlers that are coming out of that promotion that are just going to blow everyone's minds, man.
Oh, yeah.
For real. And speaking of like what the WWE and all that stuff, former NXT star, they called him Bronson Reed, appeared at New Japan Pro Wrestling Battle in the Valley.
Nice.
He is now known as Jonah.
Jonah Brothers. Oh.
It's fun. He's gonna create his own faction. He called the Jonah Brothers. Oh man, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
On top of the NJPW Battle in the Valley, you also had NJPW Strong. They also had a epic special before that pay-per-view that I suggest people should watch. Definitely, dude. And speaking of Tomohiro Ishii, it looks like he keeps making the headlines because former Impact Wrestling heavyweight champion Eddie Edwards wants to face him.
Ooh.
I love Eddie Edwards, bro.
Oh yeah.
Wow, you said it yourself, Al. It says Tony Khan is teasing on bringing in more top NJPW stars.
Naito, come on, Naito.
We're crossing our fingers here on Robb's War for Naito and Okada and those guys. Tama Tonga, Ishii is a big step. Suzuki is another step.
Yeah.
Nagata is another step. Those are some of the guys that already are coming over, came over. Kenta, dude, yes. Yes, all the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then speaking of, Hangman Page, the new AEW champion, he was in the Bullet Club at one time. He was in the Bullet Club. Now we got, ex-WWE guy. He was known as, who I thought was, I guess he isn't anymore. He was the Murph's cousin here, Buddy Murphy. He now sold his soul, and it's now Buddy Matthews. And he faced Okada at that Battle in the Valley. So, man, I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling all the fans out there. I'm telling all the heels, all the baby faces out there. You need to check out New Japan Pro Wrestling. And then, like I said, where do I start? How do I begin? I don't think there's a starting point. Like I said, I started with Chris Jericho. I started there at that Wrestle Kingdom. You could start there with Alpha versus Omega. Maybe that's why it was called that, because the beginning versus the end, right? Maybe start right there and work your way up. Or if not, if you don't want to, because like there's a lot of content, and you want to start somewhere simple, start with that Battle in the Valley one, because there's a lot of modern wrestlers of today's era that you should be paying attention to that were in that special. So, and also that Strong special as well.
Yeah,
check that one out. So man, yeah, New Japan Pro Wrestling it's on the way, bro. And now speaking of AEW, and you said you didn't get to watch Full Gear, Al, which is living up to King of Sloth style there.
Yeah, I'll watch it tomorrow after work.
But Bryan Danielson, congratulations to him. He beat Miro, and now is the #1 contender for that title. So we could be seeing Hangman Page versus Bryan Danielson. What do you think of that? What do you think of Cowboy Shit versus the American Dragon, Al?
I like it. It's good.
Cowboys and Dragons.
Be a good match.
Cowboys and Dragons, Al.
There you go. Cowboys and Dragons. It's gonna be a fucking good one.
But
Phenomenal.
Bryan Danielson was also one of the guys. He said if AEW allows him, he wants to go and work over there.
Oh,
I'm all for it. Honestly,
yeah,
I'm all
same.
for it. Like I get that the New Japan, some of the New Japan pro wrestlers are coming over here, but it would be cool to see some of the AEW stars go over there too. I
Yeah.
would love to see some AEW stars like in these G1 Climax tournaments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And them
I mean,
being,
I mean, we
and
had one Moxley.
well, yes, we do, but I don't know if they acknowledge the fact that he's an AEW guy. He just comes in and he's just Moxley. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's the because I think his gimmick in AEW is a little bit different from his gimmick in New Japan. Because his gimmick in New Japan, he's known as the Death Rider, and in AEW, they don't really acknowledge him as the Death Rider. He's just the innovator of violence or something like that. So it's kind of a different, like you're getting two kind of distinguished Moxleys here, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, speaking of Full Gear, I mean, I know again you didn't see it. You're gonna be seeing it.
Yeah.
Still, what did you think of it? What did you think of actually the stuff you know from it?
It sounds like it was amazing.
I mean, you know about Jay Lethal showing up.
Yeah.
And by the way, for the ones that are questioning if there's because he did acknowledge the Forbidden Door. So at least I was thinking it. Does that mean there's going to be some kind of relationship with Ring of Honor or not? Well, I just read that Jay Lethal says he won't be at Ring of Honor's final battle after this debut. So there you have it.
And it's not the Forbidden Door.
But he did acknowledge it for some reason,
Yeah.
and that's what I was trying to figure out. Like, why is he still acknowledging it if he probably has nothing to do with it? I'm assuming. You know what I mean? Yeah, bro. I mean, what can I say about the pay-per-view? Like I said, it was in Minnesota. It was a kick-ass pay-per-view. The buy-in was pretty good. And I don't remember. Oh yeah, I think the buy-in had my favorite, Tony Schiavone, who I'm gonna say right now on Rob is War is my favorite wrestling commentator of all time. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
You can go to hell, Al. You can go to hell with your JR barbecue sauce and all that crap. Tony Schiavone, baby. It's Sting!
Did you know, speaking of him, did you know he was in the WWF for 1 year?
Yeah.
He commentated at SummerSlam.
It was almost like
91 or 90. No, 89. At SummerSlam 89.
it was almost like how do you say it?
It was there for about a year.
It was almost like Eric Bischoff. I think Eric Bischoff was there at one point before before what he did in WCW. So I mean, they've all gone through WWE system. You just don't know about it. It's just never talked about. They all have to start from somewhere. They all have to start from the bottom up. And that's what I love. That's what I love about wrestling. That's what I love about, because wrestling is all like, wrestling to me, Al, it teaches me life lessons too. You gotta work your way up, bro. I think in today's society, everyone thinks that they should be handed everything. And come on, man. Stop being a bottom feeder.
Yeah.
and work your way up. Work your ass off.
To get to the
bust
top.
your ass, and it's gonna get you to the top. It's gonna get you to what you need to do, and that's how you're gonna stay relevant. And that's how you're gonna become the GOAT and the best in the world and the Rainmaker and whatever the hell else you want to be. So we saw Tony Schiavone come out, and he announced Minnesota's own Dante Martin, who I think, Al, is a breakthrough for AEW. He to me is Dean Malenko and Eddie Guerrero and the cruiserweight division in WCW, bro.
Yeah.
He to me embodies that. You know what I mean? He's those wrestlers that you're gonna look back 10, 20 years from now, and be like, these are the underrated wrestlers, or these are the wrestlers that are the hidden gems, you know.
Oh yeah.
And so you had him come out, and well, the Acclaimed had to interrupt, and they did a rap, and they did all that stuff. And so now, Al, I don't know if you saw the past Rampage and all that.
I saw Rampage.
Now I didn't. Okay, so now you know about FTW, Team FTW, Team Taz offering Dante Martin a contract, right?
Yeah.
Get this. The Acclaim came out and offered Dante Martin a contract to join the Acclaimed.
Where's the Leo Rush?
I don't know. I do know. Actually, I do know. They said that
his grandmother passed away.
His
right?
grandmother passed away, so rest in peace to her.
Yeah.
His grandmother passed away, and I also want to also say, with keeping that in mind, talking about passing away, I want to take time to also send my condolences out to my dad's wife's family as well too. Her mom just passed away last night.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So yeah, man, it was devastating. He last night, Marco Polo'd me and was just crying. It was just heartbroken. So man, it's a tough situation.
Yeah, it is.
It really is tough. And not only that, talking about that, the light of the situation is that we got to remember Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah.
That was cool. That was cool. That AEW Full Gear, remember, dude. They did the whole thing. They did the. I thought it was cool that in Chris Jericho's match he won and beat Dan Lambert with an Eddie Guerrero frog splash.
Fuck yeah!
So that was awesome, bro. So the Acclaim came out, did that, offered him a contract. We don't know what do you think on that, Al? What do you think? Do you think he's gonna go? It seems like with the absence of Leo Rush that these teams are trying to take. They're seeing what you and I are seeing, Al, or they're seeing what I'm seeing, the potential in the future that is Dante Martin.
My opinion, I think he should go with Team Taz because I think that would be interesting.
Oh, we're going there, Murph. Oh, you're doing heel Murph right now.
Yeah, Team Taz all the way.
You know what? And I'm gonna go with, and I know this is surprisingly to say because I love Taz and I would love to see him go Team Taz. I'm gonna falter. I'm gonna say he's gonna stay Team Rush. He's gonna stay with Leo Rush. Leo is gonna come back. This is how you start feuds with Leo Rush versus like Ricky Stark, or like you're gonna have Leo Rush versus Hobbs. You're gonna have Leo Rush versus
it's gonna be good.
The Acclaimed. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that are brewing there, and I'm loving it.
Oh yeah.
Then we had Nyla Rose, the Native Beast, who I think is one of the underrated AEW's female stars they have there. I know she gets a lot of slack and a lot of people dislike her for let's just be real, Al. Let's just call it how it is. Let's just call this pay-per-view how it is. This is Raw, right?
Yeah.
And we keep everything 110% here, and we keep everything raw. So we're just gonna say it. Everyone hates the fact that she's this trans.
It's something different. It's different.
I love it. I love it because different. I love it because in wrestling you can do anything you want. You can be anything you want. It doesn't matter. I mean, you got someone like the Concrete Rose, who is he's gay, but he also said he doesn't care if you call him a he or a she, or it's just that's how it is. You know what I mean? I just love it. I just love the whole thing. It doesn't matter who you can be. Anything you want to be is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Be anything you want to be. You want to be a heel, you want to be a baby face, you want to be whatever you want to be that. You know.
Yeah.
So with that being said, you got the native beast Nyla Rose and Jamie Hayter, who when I first saw her thought was Becky Lynch, because she just had that orange hair and it just looked like her.
Mhm.
Versus one of the popular AEW female wrestlers right now, Thunder Rosa, who is also a Gulf Coast alumni, you know, in Corpus. Got
Yeah.
a college Victory Wrestling and Gulf Coast Wrestling.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
a lot of awesome talent in AEW is coming out there from like Thunder Rosa to Sammy Guevara. You know, Texas made, brother.
Hell yeah.
Texas made, Texas
Fucking
paid.
Texans.
Hell yeah. So you had Nyla Rose and Jamie Hayter versus Thunder Rosa and Hikaru Shida, the former AEW women's champion. And well, the winner was obviously Shida and Thunder Rosa. It was a pretty good match, man. It was a pretty good
Oh
match.
yeah.
And then after that, obviously, we got Orange Cassidy teasing that he was going to bring in a special partner. Obviously, later on, they announced that was going to be the Stone Pitbull, the new never open heavyweight champion, Tomohiro Ishii. So that happened. Then we opened up Full Gear, brother, with MJF versus Darby Allin.
Interesting.
You know, yeah, and bro, and again, I know you haven't watched it, but I'm gonna tell you right now, this may be one of my top highlight matches of that night, man, because they really did put on a clinic. They really did. You had fans saying this is awesome. Then that's what you want, right? You had fans saying this is awesome and fight forever, and like, man, they really put on a good show, bro.
Fuck
Like
yeah.
they wrestled the hell out of each other. There was some of the highlights. Darby Allin did a coffin drop from the top ropes all the way outside of the ring onto MJF. MJF gave Darby Allin a freaking jumping tombstone power driver at the edge of the ring, like outside of the ropes, you know, right at the edge, and it looked brutal too. It looked like Darby really hit his head, but you know, yeah, it was a brutal match. I think you're gonna love that match.
Fuck
And
yeah. Can't wait to see it. Fuck yeah.
going to my predictions, I think I said that Darby was gonna win. MJF ended up winning, that salty bastard. He ends up winning.
He is better than you, and you know it.
Well, he is not, Al, and I'll tell you this, because he ends up winning because he ends up clocking Darby Allin with that freaking dynamite diamond ring. So he did the classic good old MJF salt of the earth heel win. So, you know, I give that match a full 13 stars. Then you had the AEW Tag Team Championships, FTR, who I freaking love their theme song, bro. Like, man, that whole audience pop because that theme song is just it's crazy, man. So they faced the Lucha Brothers, right? Who'd you had for this one now? Who'd you wanted to win for this one?
Who is it again?
It was FTR versus Lucha Brothers.
I haven't exactly put up or thought about my prediction, so
well, we're putting it out. We're putting it out on the line right now.
FTR.
FTR. All right. Well, the Lucha Brothers ended up winning, and they ended up retaining. And I think I had FTR winning too. So I think I might have lost that one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that match was awesome as well. That match lived up to the same as MJF and Darby. Dude, yeah, that match was epic, dude. I don't know if I would give it a 12 and a half, 13 stars as well. Then you had the AEW title eliminator tournament final match, Miro versus Bryan Danielson. And obviously you had, you know, were an evolved Miro and yeah, this match was epic. There was also one time where Bryan Danielson was running out of breath and Miro's just in the ring like, come on, man, you know, like he's just standing there and Bryan Danielson is outside of the ring trying to catch his breath with his legs up. And so that was an epic match as well. But obviously we know Bryan Danielson gets the win for that one. I'd give that like 11 stars.
Oh yeah.
Then you got the trios falls count anywhere match, the Super Click versus Christian Cage and the Jurassic Express. That match was epic, bro. It was really, really good. I'd probably give that a 12.5 stars as well, because like the way the ending of it, they fought all the way to the stage. I think even Luchasaurus, I think suplexed Adam Cole, I think, off the ramp onto like the Young Bucks and everything. So that match was epic. And obviously the Christian Cage and Jurassic Express won that one. So yeah, I love it because it's still, you know, because I've always said this since day one, Murph, that I want to see the Jurassic Express one day become AEW Tag Team Champions. So I want to see it one day. At least before because it's inevitable and it'll probably happen soon. At least before Jungle Boy, you know, has a solo run or whatever, or becomes TNT champ or any of that stuff, because that's eventually going to happen.
Yeah.
You know. Then we got Malachi Black and Andrade El Idolo versus Cody Rhodes and Pac. And this match was great as well. I'd probably give it like a 10 or so, because it's like, well, I guess the whole idea of the match is that Malachi Black and Andrade weren't on the same page, so they kept, you know, arguing with each other. And the same thing with Cody and Pac. They were arguing with each other as well. You there, Al? Are you there, Al? Are we boring you out? Are you drunk, Al? Dang it, Al.
Just tired. Sorry.
Dang it, Al. We're live,
I know Cody and Pac won.
Yes. See what I have to deal with on this podcast. We're here live, and he's messing up, vouching over here, getting drunk, passing out over here. That's why you shouldn't be staying up late nights.
I can't help it.
Dang it, alcoholic, Al. Anyways.
Well, speaking of which, no, I'm just kidding.
Anyways, Al, that match was really good. Rhodes and Pac ended up getting the win on that one. It was an awesome match. Then you had the AEW Women's Championship, Ty Conti versus Dr. Britt Baker. I mean, again, that match was badass, but like I felt it could have been better. So I'm gonna give it like 9.5 to 10 stars. And still, obviously, your AEW champion is Britt Baker. I mean, she can't lose that. If she's gonna lose that title, I think it's gonna maybe be to somebody like Thunder Rosa or probably even Ruby Soho or someone like that. You know.
Yeah.
Then you had one of my favorite matches, who blew the roof off as well, was CM Punk versus Eddie Kingston. Like right off the bat, they laid each other out. They laid it all on the line. You know, you had a bloody CM Punk. You had, man, this match was just all over the fucking place, man. And obviously at the end, Punk wins. But Punk wins, I think it was not only one, but I think he throws like 2 go-to-sleeps, and that ultimately, you know, does it. Because at first, when the match hadn't even began, right? He hadn't even rang the bell. And right when he was going to ring the bell, Kingston does that backhand he does, finisher, right to Punk. So laid out Punk right off the bat. You know, so the match was just epic. I would give that a 13 as well. That was awesome. Then you had the Inner Circle versus American Top Team and Men of the Year. This match was awesome. Obviously, Dan was, you know, just picking his spots and staying outside of the ring and doing that whole thing. Until Jericho got his hands on him. And Jericho was an emotional Jericho too, because like I said, he was paying tribute to Eddie.
Yeah.
Looking up and saying, "I love you, Eddie." And ultimately it was awesome because he hit the that frog splash. Also, I was gonna also bring up, I think it was during it was one of those matches where I think it was during the Pac and Idolo match, I think, where they were booing one guy but cheered the other guy for doing the the three amigos.
uh,
I forgot who, but anyways, yeah, the Inner Circle won that one. Obviously, like I said, with paying respect to Eddie at the end, and that was awesome. He also even hit a lion salt, you know. So
I hadn't done that in a minute.
and then after that, obviously, we get the surprise of the day, which was freaking Jay Lethal, and he comes out, calls out Sammy Guevara, and Al, I'm telling you, this is the guy. This to me, I've always been saying it. I think I tweeted it too. That he to me is like the Sting of Impact Wrestling, and what I mean by that is that he never shifted over to WWE or anything like that. He never went over there.
Yeah.
He never did with Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode. There's a list. Eric Young, all of them. Some of the AJ Styles, they all went to WWE. He never did. He stuck to his guns. He went to Ring of Honor, became who I know as AEW has freaking money there because they have a bona fide legend of the sports, man.
Oh yeah.
This dude is already a legend and is already entering like his debut in AEW. You know, he's new, but like, dude, it's crazy. It's just crazy.
Oh yeah.
And so yeah, I'm glad he showed up. Him versus Sammy Guevara is gonna be awesome. And obviously, I can't wait till he hits that lethal injection cutter move that he does. I hope he really does. But I don't know. That's going to be a tough one to see if Guevara retains or not. I'm pretty sure something might happen. Then you had, obviously, as we're closing in here, you had the AEW World Championship match, which we've been talking about this whole time. Freaking Hangman Adam Page versus, and speaking of Page, your babyface Page back there. Is she Hangman? Is she part of the? Is she down with cowboy shit, Al?
I don't know. Are you, girl? Are you down with cowboy shit?
Okay. Well, okay. Alrighty then. I guess that makes it official. I think I heard her say cowboy shit right when she walked out. I could have sworn
like,
I heard
cowboy shit. She started chanting cowboy shit.
She couldn't say it in front of the cameras.
Yeah.
But you get Hangman.
You got shy.
You get Hangman Adam Page versus Kenny Omega. And from the rumors I've been reading that Kenny Omega went in this with a freaking shoulder injury.
Ooh.
And so, yeah, he's been dealing with a bunch of injuries, but I'm glad finally the full circle comes around because, like I said, the first thing we know about AEW, it's always going to go down in history. The first match to that championship was Hangman Page versus Chris Jericho. Obviously, Jericho won to become the first ever AEW champion. So you had somebody like Hangman Page who was probably like you, Alcoholic Al, always getting drunk off his mind because that title eluded him for so long, for 2 years. It was a 2-year in the making. And finally, he became the champion. And, well, I am from Fremont, and I'm a Fremont cowboy, so cowboy shit.
Cowboy shit.
And I'm definitely, I'm definitely going to have to get because you can get these at Pro Wrestling Tees, and you can download the app.
At local shows.
I need to get me a Hangman Page shirt.
Same.
But
definitely.
Yeah, that match was awesome. 13 stars because of the fact that, like I said, he finally got the title, and at the end, you had the Dark Order celebrating with him.
Oh yeah.
And so ultimately, it was awesome. And you're gonna need to watch it out. That's what
definitely gonna watch it tomorrow.
That's what I'm gonna have to say. Yeah, you definitely are. Yep. And I was, and back to that whole Forbidden Door thing, and real quick, some of the news. I was wondering what happened to the Murder Hawk Monster. Why wasn't he around? Well, it turns out that he is dealing with a concussion.
Oh.
It's following a nasty landing that he got in Dynamite in October. So yeah, it was a match against Eddie Kingston.
There she is, Rob. She's back. The babyface Paige.
Babyface Paige back in the saddle again. But yeah, ultimately, yeah, we always ended in this with at the end of the day, wrestling is just awesome right now.
Oh yeah.
Wrestling's in a good place. Like with the G1 Climax Tournament, you got so much wrestling going on there for 4 weeks to keep you occupied. Ring of Honor, MLW. There's so much that we're gonna go through on this podcast. So many promotions that we're gonna break down and get through. Trust me, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of awesome wrestlers out there. Um, yeah, man. Who's your favorite current AEW star?
Probably Hangman.
Okay, yeah. Well,
Hangman.
obviously for me, it's Darby Allin.
Yeah.
Darby Allin's always going to be him because like he's just real, and even if it isn't, he just plays that it's so good. And I think Eddie Kingston is up there for me too. I mean,
Yeah.
Eddie Kingston already, if you think about it, has already had 2 top matches. I mean, if you're not gonna put him in the next year's or this year's upcoming Pro Wrestling Illustrated Top 100 or whatever, come on now. Eddie has done awesome with Bryan Danielson and now with CM Punk. Like he's only gonna go up from here.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, dude, it's gonna be interesting as for sure. Like I said, we got the upcoming Dynamite coming up. We got, I don't think they've announced the next pay per view yet, but since this is the road to Murphy Kingdom, aka Wrestle Kingdom, we got the World Tag League coming up. We got the Super Junior tournament coming up, leading up to Wrestle Kingdom 16. Now, let me see if I can just pull it up here real quick, just in case the ones that are listening want to know when it is. I think. Do you know when it is, Al?
I don't. I know it's the first week of January.
Wow. Okay. This is interesting. I forgot about this. Actually, there's 3 nights of Wrestle Kingdom this year.
Shit.
This year, 3 nights. You're getting Wrestle Kingdom on January 4th. You're gonna get it on January 5th, and now you're also gonna get it on January 8th, 2022.
Nice.
You're getting 3 nights of Wrestle Kingdom coming up. Come on now. I mean, is it not a good time to be a freaking wrestling fan?
Fuck yeah.
Dude, it's going to be epic, man. It's going to be epic. But yeah, throughout the podcast, throughout all these episodes, we're going to be talking about more of that stuff. We're going to be talking about the Forbidden Door because, like I said, a lot of stuff is happening right now currently with AEW, especially now with Jay Lethal coming around. That's not even to mention we got, I think, in December, we got AAA, which is the Lucha Libres, which is, Mexican wrestling, which I love. They also have their version of WrestleMania, which is Triple Mania, I think coming up in December. And you got Kenny Omega versus an upcoming star that he handpicked himself out. He handpicked this wrestler out of Mexico to face because he just sees potential in this guy. And not only that, I've been watching a bunch of like YouTube, like top 15s, top 10s, all this stuff. And this guy has been on some of those lists recently. And it's El Hijo de Vaquino, which is, I think, is the son of the Viking.
Nice.
So the son of the Viking is going to be facing Kenny Omega at this upcoming Triple Mania. So it's going to be an interesting pay-per-view for sure, man. Like I told you, with one of my favorites there is Psycho Clown, and Psycho Clown now went to GCW, which is unheard of. They said that's the first time ever that, somebody of his caliber went over there. Now we're talking about, if people who don't know who Psycho Clown is, this is a guy like the Tanahashi of New Japan or like the John Cena of WWE. Psycho Clown has unmasked a legend like Dr. Wagner Jr. Psycho Clown right now is, I think they said he's like 7-0 or 9-0 or something like that in mask versus hair matches. So he's never lost his mask. He's always the one to be the one for the other wrestlers to
Damn.
lose their mask. The last match, like I said, he had was I have the video game somewhere where it has Dr. Wagner Jr. on there, and he's the one that dethroned Dr. Wagner, and Dr. Wagner had to reveal himself. Took the mask right
Dang.
off of him. So Psycho Clown
Interesting.
is a bona fide legend, and it's going to be interesting to me if we could see guys, because we already are in a way. We already saw someone who former Kalisto, Samurai this soul,
Yeah.
and freaking Aerostar, who I was tripping now because I've known that guy since Lucha Underground, and he's also in AAA. We saw him come around. So what I'm trying to say with Andrade, we could easily see Naito, bro. We could easily see Rush from Ring of Honor. We could see Mestices. These are all generations of Los Ingubrenabres, Tranquilo, de Japón, which is Naito's faction. And what people don't understand is that Andrade he's like a founder. He's a co-founder of that faction. So there's a possibility that what if what if we get Andrade versus Naito?
That'd be awesome.
There's a lot of, I'm just saying,
or team up.
There's a lot of possibilities that are going to go on.
Yeah.
So much wrestling, so much things to uncover. Al, is there anything else that you want to leave with us?
I'm all right now.
All right. Well, this is like I said, make sure that you check out this podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and repeat. I said like, subscribe, comment,
and repeat.
Comment,
repeat.
And I am the RAWB, and this is
the Murph.
The Murph, aka Alcoholic Al, aka Metamorphosis, aka Arubato Mafi. We're on the road, Al. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming up. I said, we're on the road to Wrestle Kingdom. We're on the road to Triple Mania. And now we're also going to be on the road to the Royal Rumble and the WrestleMania. There's a lot of exciting stuff coming up for wrestling. Like I said, if you want to know more about wrestling, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and repeat. Like, subscribe, comment, and repeat. RAWB is war.